Howdy everyone, my name is Jay, and today we will be playing Minecraft on version 1.19. Before we start, I will tell you that I am playing on a normal difficulty and only have Optifine as a mod added. I do enjoy and love playing with mods, and maybe in the future, if I decide to, I might add some to different Minecraft series, but for this one, I kind of wanted to just play vanilla and challenge my creativity. With that being said, let's get into the video. Once I load into the world, my first objective is getting tools. I bloody my fist on a tree, turn the logs into planks, turn some planks into sticks, and create my first tool, the wooden pickaxe. After acquiring it, I look around for any exposed stone because I'm too lazy to go into a cave, and I also take in my environment and see what is all around me. I wasn't quite sure where or what I expected to build, and the mountains, as beautiful and pretty as they are not where I want my base. I soon found some stone and pondered my idea for a base. Because the wood pickaxe took so long, I was able to think of a decent idea. I wanted somewhere that had a lot of space and was decently flat. I also wanted to be close to a village so I could hire the villagers for their services. And the final thing that I wanted is an area that would allow me to make a lot of different farms. This can be automated mob farms and regular domestic farms for plants. So my first thought was to build in the plains biome, but that seemed kind of boring. I then thought maybe I could build in a desert, but acquiring wood could be difficult, and trees look ugly when they grow in the desert, and that's just not for me. Then it hit me, the ocean. The ocean is super flat, has a ton of space, and a lot of mob farms are best to build in this area because of how much less caves you have to light up. If I could find a village by the ocean, getting villagers would be so much easier. It seemed like the perfect place. With a location in mind, I stopped mining, created better tools, killed a sheep for its wool, and for some reason chopped down another tree. I found 2 more sheep, politely asked them for their wool, and climbed to the top of the mountain to look around. I also changed some of my settings to see a bit further, made a bed from the wool I was gifted, and then lowered my settings back down because I didn't want my PC to explode. I found a hole in the center of the mountain with iron and climbed down to gather it. I used my wood pick to go along the wall and make it to the first iron vein. The first vein gave me 6 iron, and after scaling to get to the second vein, I got another 6, giving me 12 in total. This was pretty decent because iron is kind of difficult to find in mountains for me. Before fully leaving the cave, I went around the mountain to the other part of the hole, grabbed some coal, broke my pickaxe, and then finally set off to find a place to call home. I wandered around and saw that my food was getting pretty low. In the distance, I found a lone pig, killed it, cooked the mutton that I forgot I had, then laid down for the night. The next morning, I ran around looking for any kind of ocean. I found a group of pigs, killed them, left an orphan, and continued my search. And if you're wondering why I only kill pigs and not any other animals, the answer is that pigs only drop food and nothing else. If I kill sheep or cows, I could end up with a lot of material that I don't yet need, and I like to save my inventory space for more difficult or necessary items. I'm also a big fan of bacon if that matters, but I didn't think it mattered. As I continue my travels, I kill more pigs, leave many little Batman piggies, and think about how I want my base to be. Since I am an incredible artist, I'm going to tell you my base idea using the best drawing software known to date, MS Paint. To start, the blue represents the ocean and the brown represents any land that is around that ocean. On the land, I want to find a village or 2 for my base. My base will be on the ocean and will have 4 points facing each direction, which will be connected using pathways that come from the center. I also may have paths connecting the points to themselves, but I'm not quite sure yet. Further away from my base, I will have automatic farms so I can get more material when I will need them. But yeah, that's the basic idea for the base, and I think it might look pretty cool, but first we need to find an area to build. I soon stumbled upon a village and began borrowing some materials and food. I found some emeralds in some chests, stole all of the hay bales, hit a baby by accident. Yeah, accident. And while going to the iron golem, I heard a blacksmith. I quickly killed the iron golem, took the furnaces from the blacksmith, and looted the chest. It had a helmet, some iron, and a pick, which was pretty decent, but I've gotten better. Then I stole the grindstone, made a bucket, and on my way out of the village, killed some cows for, honestly, I have no reason. There was no reason to kill them. I then find village number 2 and began to loot it similarly to the first one. And close by is another village that I began looting, so this made village number 3. I wandered around a bit more and came across my 4th village. Before looting, I make an iron hoe and sleep. While looting this village, I think that maybe I should just build a base here instead because of how many villages I've come across. But I was adamant on building in the ocean, and I really didn't want to build in the plains biome since I always end up doing that. So instead, I decided to continue on to find the ocean. I found some more iron in a hole in the ground. Then after looting another village, traveled through the plains and a taiga biome, I stumbled upon another village. Now you're probably wondering, what makes this village special? Why am I showing this? I've already looted so many villages. Why am I doing it again? And to that I say, absolutely nothing. There's nothing special about this village. Actually, we've seen this village. I'm not sure how or when, but somehow I turned around and ended up at a village I had already looted. So I decided to go a different direction in hopes of finding an ocean. I ran through a small savanna, a forest, broke my legs, then found a jungle. Jungles were great because I had a couple of items that I wanted, melons and bamboo. With melons, I could have a steady farm and have a decent source of food, and bamboo I could use for scaffolding for any big projects I might want to do in the future. So I grabbed some melons and found a bit of bamboo. I personally wanted to get a bit more, but because they were so spread out, I decided to just continue on in hopes of finding an area to build. Once I find an area for my base, I could just plant them and they will grow a lot more. But luckily I found a bamboo forest on my way through the jungle and was able to collect a bit more. And props to the sound team because the sound of cutting bamboo is the most satisfying thing on the planet. After traveling a bit longer, I had finally found what I was looking for, the ocean. And next to the ocean was a desert. When traveling through the desert, I also stumbled upon a mesa, which was perfect. The jungle could provide bamboo and melons, the desert had cactus and sand, and the mesa was able to provide gold and different types of terracotta. But the best part about the mesa was the potential for a spider spawner. Even though cave spiders were one of the worst mobs in the game because of its poison, it would allow me to get string for the scaffolding and other things I might need later. So I searched the mesa hoping to find an exposed spawner or just an exposed mineshaft, but sadly there was no mineshaft or spawner. Instead, I searched around the desert in hopes of finding a village or a desert temple, but again, there was none. I debated on if I wanted to find another place to build. Villages were pretty necessary for me, and a lot of future projects needed them. I thought it through and decided that even though there wasn't a village, this area would make a great place for my base. It had space for everything I wanted to build, an ocean with a coral reef, and several biomes around it that I was able to gather material from. So even though I got unlucky with finding the village around the ocean, the area was still perfect for my base. So I set up an area where I wanted my base to be, cooked some bacon, collected wood, made some chests, and sorted all of the belongings that I gathered on my way. I then placed sugarcane along the ocean and grabbed the last of my cooked food and put it in the chest. This is practically all I did for my first Minecraft video, and the main reason is because it took forever to find an ocean, and I also circled around the ocean to kind of find a village and only made it about part of the way and decided to go back, which took a lot longer than I wanted it to. So in the next video, I plan on getting materials for the base and exploring the ocean a bit in hopes of finding a village. And hopefully I can also find some sunken ships along the way, but there's also no guarantee. If you enjoy the video, think about leaving a like, and I will see you in the next one.